dives into what the future might look like and how the cannabis industry could impact it. So first things first, let's talk about the business landscape. Currently, the cannabis industry is already worth over $30 billion in annual revenue, but federal legalization, it would blow the ceiling off. Currently, companies navigate a patchwork of state laws, which complicates everything from operations to banking access. With federal legalization, it would open up institutional investments, remove the risk of federal prosecution, and clear the way for major mergers and acquisitions. Essentially, it turns cannabis into a national industry just like alcohol and tobacco. And I know that's hotly contested. Now let's look at the economic effects, and they would be huge. With federal legalization, we could be looking at $100 billion in total market valuation within the next 5 to 7 years. States with legal cannabis have already seen job booms with over 420,000 full-time cannabis jobs created so far. So imagine that expanding nationwide. Cultivation, distribution, retail compliance, and even marketing sectors would thrive. And then there's the tax revenue. State and local governments are collecting billions right now, but federal legalization would introduce a new tax structure, potentially funding healthcare, education, and infrastructure. Another thing to look at is interstate commerce, and this is where things get really interesting. Right now, as many of you know, cannabis produced in California can't be legally shipped to Texas, even if Texas legalizes it at the state level. But federal legalization would remove those barriers, allowing cannabis to be transported and sold across state lines. That means producers in prime growing locations like California and Oregon could supply the entire country, which would possibly push prices down. Another thing to consider, and something we talk a lot about here, is banking, which is another critical factor. Major financial institutions still won't touch cannabis money due to federal restrictions. Legalization would then allow companies to access traditional banking services and reduce reliance on cash transactions and improve security across the industry. Again, something we discuss a lot here. So saying all this, how would society then react? Well, we already have the answer. Public opinion has shifted, and as many as 68% of Americans now support legalization according to Gallup. People no longer see cannabis as taboo, and with federal regulation in place, safety measures would improve. Hello, hemp industry. Standardized labeling, dosing, and testing would make products safer and more reliable. And let's talk about comparisons to alcohol. Alcohol was once prohibited too, as we know, but after legalization, it became fully regulated, taxed, and integrated into society. And oh, has it ever. Just watch the Super Bowl. And cannabis is on the same similar trajectory, but with fewer health risks compared to alcohol. No overdose potential, fewer cases of addiction, and emerging medical benefits. So saying all this, where do we go from here? If federal legalization happens, expect a new Wall Street boom, major brand entries, including pharmaceutical and beverage companies, and a rush of international trade opportunities. The U.S. would likely become the global leader in cannabis commerce, setting industry standards worldwide. But something to consider, it's not just about profits, it's about justice reform as well, ending unnecessary arrests and giving legacy market operators a fair chance in a legal space. Because really, these laws are extremely outdated. The reality is, whether you want to accept this or not, is that cannabis is moving towards federal acceptance, and when it happens, the ripple effect is going to be enormous. So what do you all think? Do you think the U.S. will one day federally legalize cannabis? Let's keep the conversation going, so leave your comments below. We'd love to get your feedback. If you have time, make sure to like, subscribe, and smash on that bell for all notifications to keep you updated on the latest reform and business side here in the cannabis industry. That's it for today, and one can only hope one day that we will get federal legalization. And when I say one, I mean as many as 68% of Americans. The big question that remains, will the administration finally act to what you, the people, want? I'm your host, Shad Dales. Thanks again, everyone, for watching.
Is the number of communication. So when anyone sees those three numbers together, they have to basically start communicating more. Whether it be going to a party, you have to be more social. 555, it might be a baby on the way. 5 is number of sexual energy. 666, 6 is number of family. So again, most people think that's some kind of.
Oh my God.
Most people think that's a negative number.
Is that
but-
why they make it
Yeah,
so
exactly,
negative? Because
exactly.
they're against the